What if every yes you've been chasing is the reason that you are where you're at right now, which you might not like? And the no's and the rejection is actually the saving grace. It's actually your rescue. It's actually the guidelines you're supposed to be following, but you're not. You keep looking for the yes. If that's you, we got some talking to do. Let's get into it. Good morning, Vietnam. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of It's Only Monday podcast. Happy Monday, wherever you guys are at today. I hope you're doing great, doing fine, and enjoying your day. This one, we're gonna get into it right away. This is about the yes, the wrong yes. See, the thing is, like, we're always looking for that yes, right? All of us, we're all looking for, hey, I'm about to do this thing, and I need this thing to happen. So I need a yes from this thing for it to happen, right? You are planning to, you know, go this way or go that way with in whatever direction or path in life that you want to take, and you're looking for a yes, right? There's always a yes we're looking for, no matter what it is, right? Someone to say yes, something that has to be signed off, something that needs to be given, something that needs a door that needs to be opened. There's usually a yes that's behind that for that to happen. But what if, just follow me here. That yes you keep looking for and that yes you think is even that you might be getting is actually keeping you stuck where you're not supposed to be. It's actually derailing and extending the time on things that you could be doing and you actually should be doing, but you're not getting a chance to because you're stuck in a yes. And a yes is dangerous. It's crazy. I know you might be saying, like, bro, what are you talking about? Listen, I'm just speaking from what I know, from experience, from what I've seen. Yeses can be dangerous because yeses seem like the thing that we want, right? It seems like the thing that we're constantly looking for. Like, hey, of course I want a yes. I want the person to say yes to this. I want this thing to be yes. I want to get, when I pitch for this thing, I want it to be a yes. When I go for this job, I want it to be a yes. When I, create this video and post it, I want it to be like everything you want it to be a yes. But if everything's a yes, you're not on a path technically that I think that you are choosing. You're not on a path that you are actually being. Now, don't get me wrong. You could be just blessed and like you're on the right path. And if that's the case, yo, disregard everything I'm saying. But I think a lot of us, majority of us, 99% of us, aren't on that. We're trying to figure it out. Where we have these ideas of what we think and what we want, and little do we know that most of the time it's not aligned. And that's what I'm talking about today. This Monday morning, it's about the alignment, how the right no is better than the wrong yes. Because the wrong yes will have you trapped. The wrong yes will have you somewhere you're not supposed to be. The wrong yes will have you doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be over here, but you're over there because you said yes to something that wasn't really on the path of what you're supposed to be doing. And a no is not bad. A no is not the end of the world. And a no actually sometimes is the best thing that can happen to you. No's, closed doors, all those type of things. So this Monday, I want to really get into that because I think, you know, in this world of everything now moving a lot faster and fast paced, everyone wants to be somewhere faster, quicker, right away. They need the yes tomorrow. It's been 2 weeks. Why not? It's been a month. It's been a year. It's been 6 years. And granted, I do believe time is necessarily the factor in all things, right? Because depending on if you're, supposed to be there, it'll happen. But I think at the end of the day, there is a factor of, you know, one cultivating things and being, refined in a moment to be ready for the right yes. But understanding that no's are actually more powerful in helping you to become who you need to become to do the things you need to do. Think about this. This is a simple one. Like if you wanted to, you know I don't know, be the best at like golf and you wanted to like make a hole in one, right? And the first time you did it, you just did it. That's amazing. And you're probably like, yo, but there is something about that that feeling of chasing and trying to get it and working on your swing and getting better. Because the thing about it is that's what ends up happening. You go and you try to do it and it doesn't happen, right? Cool. You're like, okay, cool. How do I get the ball to go further? You learn that you have to have a technique. So then you start learning your technique. Okay, cool. I learned how, oh, I'm supposed to swing it like this. All right, cool. I don't play golf, by the way. So at the end of the day, if there's things I'm missing here and you play golf, by all means, you can write in the chat exactly what those things are. But man, you learn that you need a different type of club, right, to hit it. And then you learn that, okay, the way I'm turning is not correct. So and then you start learning all these different, next thing you know, you get to a place where you're actually learning the game and you're actually loving the game. And instead of just aiming for that hole in one, you start getting better. You start getting good. You actually start going and playing. And then you start going on a regular basis just to play, not to just get a hole in one, but then to go play. And then while you're playing, you end up meeting someone who ends up being, interested in some type of business you're doing. And they say, hey, I know someone I can introduce you to that knows this person. And that person now is a person that invests. Like, again, I'm building this crazy story, but just from that whole thing of, wanting to go get a hole in one and trying it out and not getting it, but then you're like, okay, I want to actually try this. So that technically I'm trying to say this, the no is not getting the hole in one, but just using that as an example, that made you go down a path of, practicing, getting better, building your technique. And I feel like that's what happens in life. There's times in life where you get a no, you get a closed door, you get a rejection, but that rejection pushes you somewhere where you would have never went. You would have never went if you had that yes. If that thing worked the way you thought it was going to, or it worked the way that, you just were stumbling into it. So that's why this morning I really want to talk about the right no, because no is a beautiful thing. No allows things to be finite. It allows things to be like, okay, this is not it. It's kind of like almost like train tracks, right? You're getting on the train tracks and like you can't deviate because now there's no yes or a kind of yes or something that keeps you kind of stalled. It's a thing that makes you, okay, it's a no, boom. I'm going by it, blowing by it. What's next? What's next? What's next? Right? And there's a power in that a lot of people don't realize. I think the most dangerous thing is a yes or a maybe yes, because it leaves you lingering, it leaves you thinking, and then your possibilities start going down the line based on something that is not really necessarily true, right? It's a possible yes. That's the worst. But even if it is a yes, then you start making this new timeline of thoughts based off of that yes. Right? There's a saying where people say that, like, if you can't clearly see the path, you're on the right path. If you see the path clearly, like you can see the path for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years for certain things, that's not a path you created. That's a path someone created for you. All right. So and I think there's a lot to say about that. And that could be a whole other conversation. But it is true to a certain extent, right? Like when you, especially if you're cultivating, you're creating something that is no one's seen before. Like a lot of times, everyone in this world right now is building different things that hasn't been done before, things that is not the norm or what has been, and people are trying different things. And if you're doing something like that, you are on a path that like no one can really tell you which way to go, right? Except one person. God. And God actually has, and again, like I say, this is the book of life at the end of the day, man. Like you guys, if you're reading all these like different motivational books and all this kind of stuff, that's great. But I'm telling you right now, the Bible has everything you need to know. Everything. Like there's nothing that's happening in this world that you can't go to the Bible and find the answer for. Right? Anything happening in your life that you're like wondering like what I should do. Trust me, the Bible. So again, we're gonna go into here and I'm gonna pull up verses that help you understand that the powerful no, especially from God, is way better than any wrong yes you can get sucked into. Because again, a yes can have you stuck somewhere that you're not supposed to be. And next thing you know, what you were supposed to do and be doing, you're not doing because you're stuck somewhere because of a yes you said that or accepted that should have never been a yes at all. Or if it was, is for a time, whatever. So the first place we're going to is Proverbs 16 verse 9. Okay. Um, if you're familiar with this one, it says, we can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. Now, what does that mean? It means exactly that. we make plans as human beings all the time. Oh, I'm going to do this. And then I'm doing it this way. So it's going to happen this way and that way. And then I'm going to do this and do that. And listen, it's great if you're on this perfect path of like, right? That's what you think your plans are. But the Lord determines our steps, right? He has something planned out for us, right? And I believe that our lives are, I do believe our lives are predestined by God. I believe God has our lives predestined, but you need to be on the path that he wants. I think when things, again, if you ever read the book of Job, there's that story in the Bible, but it's the fact that actually there's actually another story in the Bible. I think that's what I'm thinking about right now. That is actually a better example of this. And I think it's with the whale and Jonah and the whale. Um where he tries to actually go the other way that God didn't want him to go, and he tried to go to a different city, and that's why he ended up in the whale, but he ended up back to where he was supposed to go. Um, but that whole point I'm trying to make there is the fact that like God will put no's in your place to put you on the guardrails to where you're supposed to be. And the fact that I was saying I think our lives are predestined is because I think one, God wants everything good for us, right? So if that's the case, you know, obviously there's the right ways to go about these things, right? And when we deviate from the right ways and when we deviate from where we're supposed to be, there has to be hard no's that help us get back on track. You know what I'm saying? So, like the wrong yes can seem like something right at first. It could seem like that, but it's not where you're technically supposed to be. It's not the yes that you were ever supposed to take. It's the no from God is actually the better one. And there's another uh verse I want to show you guys, which is Revelation 3. Yeah, verse 7 and part of 8. I'm going to get into the middle of it where it says, this is the message from the one who is holy and true, the one who has the key of David. What he opens, no one can close, and what he closes, no one can open. I know all the things you do, and I have opened a door for you that no one can close. And see, right there, it just shows you, right? Like the doors that God has for you, no one can close, right? And so that means even if it's a no that you're getting, or a rejection or a closed door, that's from God guiding you to where you're supposed to be. And it'll all make sense. Obviously, everything always makes sense looking back, but going forward, you need to trust in those no's from God. You need to trust in the rejection. You need to trust in all that stuff from God because those are so much stronger and so much better than a yes. Because what I wanted to say at the beginning of this was like a yes can get you, like think about right now. When you wake up in the morning, everything is trying to take your attention, your time, your energy, everything. You wake up in the morning, if you first thing you do is go to your phone, you're going to get all this bombarded by people trying to, yo, buy this, buy that, check this out, follow my page, subscribe here, watch this, share this video, copy this. Everyone telling you what to do. If you check your email first thing in the morning, it's a bunch of people that have plans for what they want done and they're messaging you to do it. So they're already trying to take your time and energy away to do something that they want you to do, right? So then take a sip of water real quick. And I know it's a little late, but let me get some coffee. That's good. That's good. All right. If you watch like, TV, the news, everything's trying to take your attention there. If someone calls you early in the morning, they're trying to get you to do something for them. Everything is taking your attention and your time away, right? And your energy. So all that is to say, imagine if you said yes to all those things. Like imagine right now you decide to say yes to everything today. Everything. Anytime anyone said anything to you, you're just like, yes, yes, yes. What would your day look like at the end? I know there's some things where we say, oh, we're in a yes season where I'm going to say yes to everything, which that can pertain to certain things. Like I'm going to say yes to like, business ideas, or I'm going to say yes to creative ideas, or I'm going to say yes to, every time for working out, but, or adventures. But like, no, what if you just said yes to everything? Imagine how chaotic that one day would be. Now imagine you said yes for the week. because you'll realize you'll be drained so quick. People needing this from you, needing that from you, wanting you to do this time. Next thing you know, you're just you're gonna end up somewhere where you're like, how did I even get here? Right? So no's are and boundaries are something that we already need in our lives. And we already have them for ourselves at times when we say no to certain things. But I do believe the ones where we think that we have control, where we have no control. The only person in control is God. His no is ultimate, and there's a reason for it. His no is for listen. God is gets to hear conversations that you don't get to hear. He gets to be, where you're not. He knows where this is good for you and that's good for you. So at the end of the day, his no is protection. His no is your best interest, nobody else's. And I think that's what you need to understand this Monday morning. This Monday morning, the right no, and that no ultimately is from God, but the right no will always surpass the wrong yes. Even if the wrong yes seems good, looks good, even if it is kind of good. That's another thing too. The part where is like some yeses, they don't have to be the wrong yes in the sense of like it's bad. It's just in the sense of like it's not what is meant for you to fulfill the things that you're supposed to be fulfilling. You know, a lot of times people are looking at their best interests at the end of the day. So a yes that they're giving to you might just be for them themselves, and there's nothing there for you really and truly. There's nothing to help you. There's nothing to change any of your situations. It's just a yes that ultimately is just there for you to just be like, okay, cool. But a no from God is like puts you on that path to where you need to be. Back to like I was saying with the golf thing, right? At the end of the day, you end up becoming this amazing golf player, or you end up, meeting a business partner or meeting a spouse that you finally get to marry, or whatever situation is because of the no, which was, I mean, the hole in one that puts you down the path of something. And the nose is what puts people down the path at the end of the day. You think about it in any type of way, it's always deep down a no. Let's go to Michael Jordan's story, right? I know when we break it down, if you're a basketball fan, he tried out for a team that was like the senior team when he was actually supposed to be a junior. But regardless, we just make it say he didn't make his basketball team. He didn't make the basketball team. It looks like, regardless, he probably would have kept going, but it set him on a path of determination. And look where he's at now, right? The greatest of all time. So all that to say, this no you're getting this Monday morning, the rejection, the closed door, whatever it is, it's good. As long as you keep going. And that's the part where I think a lot of you need to understand, man. It's about you're not stopping. It's not about a week. It's not about a month. It's not about a year. It's not about 2 years, 3, 4, 5, 10. You know what I mean? If you are the person that you think you are, there's no time limit. You're going to keep going. You fall down 7 times, you get up 8. I think that's in the Bible too, right? It was talking about, I think, righteousness and sinning, but he says, a righteous person falls down 7 times, gets up 8. I forget. I got to find that verse. I'll put it on here. But that's what I'm trying to say. Everything's in the Bible. Everything's in the Bible. But that's the whole point. If you're that person that you think you are, a lot of us think that we're this person with the tenacity and the grit and keep going. If you really are that person, do it. Show it. Do it. And a no is the perfect thing to put you on the right path and pull you. Because I'm telling you, when you get to that place where you can sit down and look back and go, you're going to be thankful for the no's, thankful for the no's. And also, I'll leave you guys with this one last thing. Be, uh, be happy also as you're going. I think the one thing people need to learn is learning how to be happy as they go, happy as they build, happy as they create, happy as they're on their journey. A lot of times you're looking, the journey could be hard, the journey could be a lot of things, right? But you're looking for the end destination. And I'm telling you, I don't even like, there's just been so many things in my life, but I already know, and there's so much more planned and going to happen in the future that I already know that I've learned a long time ago that the destination isn't the end all be all. And the journey is where you like really, really learn, grow, create, and do all the things, right? Just back to the golf analogy, about like, trying to get the hole in one, not getting it, but in the meantime, you end up getting better at golf. So many things that like when spend the time and go through it, that journey just brings out the best. It brings out the parts that make you you, the parts that mold you into who you actually are, right? So embrace it. Embrace it. You know, the no's, the rejection, all that stuff. Embrace that, because that is going to set you on a path of greatness. Trust me. Anyone that just gets yeses, anyone that has a complacency, anyone that's just, oh, it was given, it was the, trust me, buddy. Like those are going to be one. I think I have a video about this, about the inspiring story. None of those stories are inspiring. None of those things are going to get you out of your seat and be like, I want to go, because it's just like, okay, right? And we see that in life all the time. Two, at the end of the day, you know, we champion the stories of grit, integrity, and perseverance and pushing through. And you know, those are the things that make it to the top. Those are the stories, and those are the things where when you're later on looking back and you're mentoring someone, sharing something with someone, you actually have real life things that you can share that people can go, oh damn, you know. And it doesn't take 100 years to get there. You know what I mean? Like you could be at whatever age you're right now and have those to share. You know what I mean? So end of the day, I know I said that before. The wrong yes, throw it out. The right no, embrace it. Okay. This Monday morning, I hope you guys have a good one. I hope you guys are gonna chase everything that you want to chase, but have fun as you're doing it. Enjoy life as you're doing it. At the end of the day, life is this thing, right? And at the end of the day, you're not looking for just this, because there's always that one, that this line's not in the Bible, but the whole thing about the setback is the setup for an amazing. I don't know the whole term, but there's that whole thing. Think of it as like the bow and arrow, right? You feel like you're being stretched, you feel like you're being pulled, you feel like you're being, oh my gosh, why does it feel like I'm taking 10 steps backwards? And then boom, you're gonna fly so far forward, right? And those no's are gonna be part of the reason why you're gonna be on the right path. That like when you see that you just end up, how did I get all the way over here? I thought it was 10 steps backwards. Now I'm 2,000 steps forward. Hey, but it's all starts with, ends with, begins with, ends with, the middle with. You got to make sure you keep it at the center. You keep him at the center, God. Okay? Keep Jesus at the center, and trust me, any and everything you do, there's nothing that you can't do. But it's most important to make sure it's what he wants you to do. That's the most important part. Okay. It's not about this like magic thing where you're like, oh, anything I want. No, it's not about what you want. Because also the things that you want, you're going to realize as time goes too that, oh, I didn't even want this. I don't want this. Like, oh, I don't want that. Because you're going to realize those things don't align. And when you start getting into alignment with the right yes, and the heavenly yes, then all those other things that you thought were yeses, you look back and go, oh, I'm so glad I didn't go down that way. I'm so glad I didn't do that. I'm so glad I didn't get that. I'm so glad I wasn't part of that. I'm so glad. Trust me. Okay. All right, guys. Happy Monday. I hope you have a blessed week. I will catch you guys in the next video. It's your boy JT. Peace.